Sunflora is a chlorophyll user with really low speed, really bad defenses, but a pretty good special attack overall. And we're going to be trying out how to power up Sunflora and make it do so much damage in order to blow up teams. This is a recreation of Gahota, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, used in a tournament cup. And I did want to try out the team, however, there were a few changes I wanted to make personally. So I decided, hey, I'm going to try out Sunflora, see how well it can do, because when you think about it, even though we're not using chlorophyll, Choice Specs Solar Power has got to do a ton of damage. So let's break down the team. First, we have the sun mode of this team, which is involving the Torkoal and the Drought, and it has the eject pack. And we are running this Torkoal set in order to get a free switch, specifically usually into Sunflora, but can also be used to get a free switch into Typhlosion as well. It's important against the Weather War when there's Pelipper's out there, because you can go for that overheat, get that eject pack, get some damage, and then pivot out so you can switch back in and get sun mode afterward. So that's some pretty good usage. You don't need the Torkoal to sweep under the Trick Room because it's not the main sweeper, but it still can with its Tera Fairy eruption under the sun. Overheat for that strong fire type single target option, that again for the eject pack pivoting, but also to play around wide guard, helping hand to help the team dish out a lot of damage, and then of course protect to keep itself around. Next we have the Hisuian Typhlosion with the Blaze and the Choice Scarf, and this is so you can do as much damage as possible with that Tera Fairy eruption, and you don't need any form of speed control like you would see like a Tailwind Jumpluff for instance, or more. And the idea here is Typhlosion is not supposed to be the main sweeper. It is just supposed to be a way that can clean up in end games or really start out the battle strong with a powerful eruption to weaken the Pokemon for a later Trick Room sweep. So that is the idea behind this Typhlosion. So the idea behind the Typhlosion is not like a Choice Spec sweeper unless something like Joe Ugarte's team that we've seen commonly in the format with that Choice Specs. It's more of a start strong or clean up in the end game type of mon with a very powerful spread fire type moves and eruption, heat wave, and overheats that can dish out a ton of damage and shadow ball for the coverage. Next, we have the star of the show, the Solar Power Choice Specs Tera Fairy Sunflora. And the idea behind the Tera Fairy Sunflora is we've seen Charizard do well in the format with Solar Power Fire type attacks. We are not using the Fire type attacks. The original version was actually Tera Fire on the Sunflora with Weather Ball. So you have the same type attack bonus Weather Ball with the Fire Power and the Sun. But I thought, you know, it makes sense. I think if I want to go Tera Fairy, there's not as many resistances, and of course usually it's the steel types that resist the Dazzling Gleam, and of course you have the Torkoal that's able to hit the steel types pretty hard, as well as the poison types out there. So why not go with a very powerful Dazzling Gleam with Choice Specs? It helps out against like Dragonite as well as a defensive option because you don't take damage from the scale shot, and you hit pretty hard. You hit pretty much the same as a Choice Specs Flutter Mane with Photosynthesis with that Choice Specs Sunflora, and you are able to dish out a ton of damage under that Trick Room. And I thought, you know, that sounds like a really cool thing that allows Sunflora to sweep teams potentially. So really want to try out Tera Fairy Dazzling Gleam after seeing that Solar Power and Choice Specs with the Tera Fairy option. Just able to dish out so much damage under the Trick Room. It has pretty good coverage. The Grass type power and the Energy Ball, the Earth power to hit the Fire types, and of course Weather Ball to take advantage of a Fire type coverage option that pairs well with Torkoal in the Sun, but also can take like a Weather Ball from the snow or the rain that might switch in and can use it against my opponent. Next, how do we set up the Sunflora to sweep? We have the Klefki, and this one is running the Prankster and the Light Clay with Terra Water as a defensive option. And originally the team had a Thunder Wave Klefki, and I thought, you know, I think I want screens on the Klefki for consistency and allow Sunflora's really awful defenses. I'd be able to actually set up the Sunflora so it can actually be able to tank attacks because it is pretty fragile otherwise. And it did have Sunny Day on the original team for Manual Sun, and I thought, you know, if I'm pairing it up with the eject pack on the Torkoal, because there was no Torkoal on the original team, it was actually just Sunny Day Klefki by itself, and it was a Basket Legion. I didn't really think the Basket Legion was necessary, so I wanted to make the change of have the Torkoal. So I have that eject pack as a pivot option without having to rely on the Sunny Day on the Klefki. and just have the screens option available, which I thought was pretty nice. The Dazzling Gleam for a spread type attack just to break focus ashes and get some chip damage. The Tera Water is a defensive typing, which is just nice in general. The Light Clay, Light Screen, and Reflect allows you to play pretty well because Torkoal and Sunflora are actually able to take attacks with the screens. Even if I'm using like Typhlosion for damage offense, like having a Reflect or Light Screen can actually be pretty beneficial. And to my dragons, especially the Assault Vest Dragonite, which I changed it to, can really tank attacks extremely well under the screens. And with the bulk paired with the Sunflora and Torkoal, it didn't matter if I missed a knockout because generally they'd be able to hang on afterward. So that is the idea of the Klefki. It's able to get Trick Room up, pretty good consistent typing, immune to Sneeze or Dire Claw stuff, and just a pretty good synergy, I think, with the Sunflora and the Torkoal. Next, we have the Double Dragons. This is the Rough Skin Life Orb Garchomp. Pretty common just to hit the fire types in Incineroar as well as the steel types. Just able to do quite a bit with the Earthquake, Stormy Tantrum, the Dragon Claw coverage, of course, for the same type attack bonus, and running the Tera Steel as a defensive Tera. I wasn't really sure what I really wanted from the Garchomp, if I wanted an offensive set. The original set had Tera Ground. I didn't feel like I really needed the Tera Ground option because I feel like if I'm terraing the Garchomp and the Tera Ground, I'm probably bringing Dragonite, which is a Pokemon I would probably Tera anyway. I want defensive typing because in case that I do face ice coverage out there, because this team does have triple ice weeks, I thought I wanted a different Tera against it. So just decided to go with Tera Steel, which is a pretty consistent option. Also helps resist a psychic type attack. Finally, we have the multi-scale Dragonite with the Assault Vest and Tera Flying as the option with Tera Blast, Extreme Speed, Ice Spinner, and Low Kick. Originally, this Dragonite was not a Assault Vest set. It was actually one of the Scale Shot loaded dice sets with Tailwind, but I thought that, you know, I don't really need Tailwind on this team since I'm running the Choice Specs Sunflora. It's slow, it's really slow. I don't think that Tailwind's super necessary, I think, to this team with Choice Scarf, Typhlosion, and the main goal of setting up is the Trick Room. So I thought, you know what, I want the Dragonite to be really bulky. I want it to help out against Size Spam because I think Size Spam's a pretty rough matchup otherwise, because Expanding Forest can just do so much damage to my team. So I decided to go with the Assault Vest Dragonite with that Tera Flying, Tera Blast option, which I think is really cool. I think that it is a option that players don't expect anymore because of the Scale Shot Dragonite usage. But I think Tera Flying, Tera Blast is really good coverage in general. It allows Dragonite to get some really big hits off. Extreme Speed for the priority. The Ice Spinner, I think, is really solid to help out against the Size Spam and terrain users in general. And then Low Kick. I wasn't sure if I wanted Low Kick or Stormy Tantrum, and I think I'd probably go Stormy Tantrum if I was to rebuild this, because Low Kick was mainly for King Gambit as well as Ursaluna, which I thought like extra damage in Ursaluna could be really big, especially the Blood Moon Ursalunas out there. So that's why I have Low Kick. Stomping might have been more useful in general to hit Golden Go and a few other Pokemon like the fire types, especially Incineroar. Even though Low Kick does hit it, I think Stomping would have been nice, especially if they go for Fake Out to break multi-scale. I do think it had a bit more usage, but overall, I felt the Dragonite set, I really did like the Assault Vest Dragonite because it paired well with the screens from the Klefki adjustment and felt like it did a pretty good job. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the original creator, I'll link them down below in the description. Pelipper, Basculegion, Archaludon, Golden Go, Amoonguss, and Murkrow. Goodness me, this team's rough because they have Rain Dance Murkrow. Okay. Rain Dance Murkrow is not fun to deal with. I don't have Sunny Day on the Klefki. I wish I did. This might be a Garchomp angle. Yeah, I think this is a Garchomp Dragonite angle potentially. I think I want to lead Klefki. I might bring Dragonite because Dragonite's not even good. It's good at resisting the water type attacks, but it's not really good otherwise, which is a big concern to me. I think I'm gonna go with Klefki Garchomp because Garchomp's pretty good offensively against their team for the most part. Torkoal to change to Weather and send Flora back. I don't know if I can really go to fast mode. I don't know if they're going to bring a Amoonguss though against the Sun team. I guess it just depends on what they think it is. I think Basculegion's coming. I think Pelipper's coming. I think Archaludon probably is brought. And then last Pokemon I think is Murkrow, but we'll see. I would love to see no... Okay, it's Murkrow or Calon. That's good. Versus Klefki and Garchomp. Alright, this is a safe light screen from me, and I can go for a Stomping Tantrum, or I could go for a Dragon Claw immediately into the Murkrow. They could have Taunt, which I guess is concerning, but if they have Taunt, we'll deal with it when it comes. I think I want to get the damage into our Caledon as fast as possible. They go for Tailwind. With Light Screen up, we live with Dragon Pulse. I guess Draco Meteor is questionable, but we'll see. I'm kind of surprised that they went for the Tailwind immediately, but I guess against Garchomp they got respected. They do go for Draco Meteor actually. Okay, Garchomp survives. That's a huge survival actually, and I'm able to get a huge Stomping Tantrum into our Caledon. That's really good damage. Okay, Garchomp goes down, but I'm okay with this. I'm very okay with this. This is a safe leftovers. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go Sunflora. I'm gonna go for Dazzling Gleam, and I'm gonna try to get Trick Room up. If we can't get Trick Room, it's a game over. But most, I feel like on this team you might not have it. At least Taunt. I'm gonna Trick Room, and I'm gonna go for Dazzle with Tera Fairy. I'm gonna Tera just in case the Murkrow has Brave Bird, because I've seen Brave Bird Murkrow before. So let's see, because they might also try to Draco Meteor the Sunflora too on top of that. Let's go for that Tera Fairy Dazzling Gleam because we get to be super disruptive, get a bunch of damage to Murkrow. If we can knock out the Murkrow, it's incredible because that means they won't have Rain Dance afterward. And no access to Rain Dance is really big because that allows Torkoal to come in safer. So let's see what they decide to opt for here. They say in really ideal. If I get a double knockout here, I'm in an incredible position. So we go for the Tera Fairy with our Sunflora. It might Body Press attempt. Let's see. I'm hoping that whatever happens that I'm able to get Trick Room. Ooh, foul play into Sunflora. That's beautiful. Body Press. Oh, that's so good. The Tera Fairy coming in clutch here with that survival. Dazzling Gleam with the Choice Specs. Tera Fairy, please KO the Murkrow. It doesn't, so that's a Violet Murkrow. Good to know. Okay. And Trick Room is set up with the Klefki. We do have Light Screen set up. We're in a pretty decent spot. Even if Gold comes in, I think that the... Well, if Gold comes in, then I would probably want to switch into Torkoal and Dazzle Gleam. Yeah, I would still want to do that. That's Basculegion? Basculegion, okay. I 100% want to Reflect with Klefki. I think Reflect Klefki and... This is Aqua Jet, right? This might not be as easy as I wanted it to be. You know what? No, I still have to Reflect. Do I Dazzle here? I think I just Dazzle. I was trying to think of like, okay, what positions can I set up? But the thing is, I don't think I can get my Rain up ever. I don't think I can. Yeah, because they're going to go for the Sunny Day. Unfortunately, I don't have Sunny Day on my Klefki. Oh, they didn't go for Rain Dance. Or they didn't go for Aqua Jet. They just went for the attack. But that means the Basculegion is taking a lot here. Last Respect coming out into Sunflora. Sure. Sunflora goes down, but this might not be over by far. Oh, it's Life Orb, Basculegion. That's bad. That one's bad. Yeah, I couldn't make a Torkoal switch and go for Dazzle. I couldn't really do much. I'm just glad they didn't Aqua Jet, but I don't know if Aqua Jet would have KO'd Sunflora, I guess, because that's a big factor. This probably works out for me. I get Torkoal in. I guess I could have also went for Dazzling Gleam, switch to Torkoal if it was Last Respect, but I thought they were just going to Water Move. Oh, it's Golden Go back. I just win. Okay. After a lot of ups and downs, I'm like, okay, but they didn't bring Pelipper. They just brought Murkrow. Wow. I just get to Eruption and I get to Dazzle and I get to win. If it was Pelipper, I'd probably be playing mind games of like, okay, is there a Wide Guard? Is there Protect on Basculegion? There were so many mind games I might have had to deal with, but nope, that's not going to be the case. I am able to get the Eruption off and just nuke the side of the field because there's no more rain. Awesome. They rely too much on the Murkrow, and thankfully with the Tera Fairy Dazzling Gleam, I was able to do a bunch of damage. That Murkrow had a good amount of Spadef bulk. I would be not surprised to see if that was max Spadef Murkrow, because Sunflora actually hits pretty hard. With Choice Specs and Tera Fairy off a decent special attack stat, kind of surprised how well the Murkrow took it. I was really hoping for a double knockout there. I think regardless, if it was Golden Go back, like, yeah, Trick Room, Dazzling Gleam was always the play. If it was Pelipper, it might have been better to go for Dazzling Gleam, double Dazzling Gleam, KO both Pokemon, and then go into Torkoal and get Trick Room up. But it worked out, I suppose. All right, we have Indeedee, Delphox, Ursaluna Blood Moon, the Primarina, Sneasler, and Whimsicott. This is a very scary team. Very scary. Size Spam, Primarina. Not going to be easy, but I think what I want to go here is I want to go with the Klefki plus Dragonite. It's really good into like Tailwind teams. And I like the, especially Size Spam stuff. And then I think it's Torkoal plus Sunflora in the back. If I can set up a good position and weaken the Delphox, Dazzling Gleam with Choice Specs blows up their team. So that's kind of the idea here. The only issues I really have with this are mainly going to be, can we get that position? Because Dragonite's going to be the opener. We need to get a lot of damage with the Dragonite immediately. We have Low Kick, we have Ice Spinner, we have ways to control the Blood Moon Ursaluna. Let's see. Indeedee Delphox, not too surprising. Okay, Light Screen Ice Spinner is super safe here, and I will go for it. I'm going to tar down the Delphox. Yep. Psychic Surge. I don't know if they're going to Heat Wave or Expanding Force immediately, but my play is just to always Light Screen. Oh, it's just Psychic Seed stuff, so it's Magician. They can steal either the Light Clay or Assault Vest. I have no idea how the mechanic works still of what item they get to trace, but yeah, we just go for a Light Screen immediately. We go for an Ice Spinner. I mean, their damage output is a lot less, I suppose. But yeah, let's Ice Spinner and Light Screen. Indeedee can't do much unless it's Imprison Indeedee, and if that's the case, that's all right, because I do get the free Light Screen up, and even though I don't get a Terrain, Indeedee doesn't really do that much damage unless this, for some reason, is running an offensive set. We see a Tera come out from my opponent immediately. What Tera are you going to be? Oh, Indeedee Teras. Fairy? To prevent Scale Shot, which makes sense, but I'm not Scale Shot Dragonite. I am the Ice Spinner set, so this is actually really good. This should be Follow Me then in expanding. Or maybe they Heat Wave here because they don't have to fear the Dragonite as much, I suppose. Light Screen going to be started with the Klefki. Heat Wave, that's kind of less ideal because I would like to Klefki around healthier, but that's fine. Ah, they steal my Assault Vest, which is bad. I would have preferred them not stealing my Assault Vest, but sure. Ice Spinner comes out into the Indeedee. We get rid of the Terrain. Super nice. Man, I would have preferred him stealing any other item. Okay, this is still playable though. I guess I go Torkoal here. We're just gonna Heat Wave again though, and if I... The problem is I need Terra Blast to deal damage to the Delphox. I really wish he didn't steal my Assault Vest. Can I Trick Room here and just spam E-Speed? Maybe. I'm just gonna Trick Room spam E-Speed. Indeedee retreats, which is good. Okay, so I'm able to get Trick Room up, and I have Ice Spinner pressure always. Primarina comes in. That's fine. This should be Heat Wave. I get good damage into Delphox. All right, this might not be awful. I kind of wish I had Stomping over Low Kick in this kind of game. We will get the Tera with our Klefki. Extreme Speed going to come out into Delphox. Actually, some really good damage. That was some good damage. Heat Wave going to come out. Not really do much. It's a crit on Dragonite, which is fine. You get the Trick Room up. Are you going to attack with Primarina, or are you going to switch out into the NDD, I guess is a question. Because you could go into NDD and expanding. I'm just going to go for Dazzling Gleam, and I guess I'm going to Ice Spinner the Delphox as well. Because I don't know if they... I could see Delphox also switching out into NDD as well. Yep. So NDD is going to come in for that slot. I think that's okay for me. Yeah, I think that's pretty alright for me. Are they Moonblasting? They Moonblast to Dragonite. Yeah, so Psychic Terrain's up. Dragonite survives, which is actually crazy to me. Okay. Dazzling Gleam gets some chip onto both. And an Ice Spinner into the NDD. So I guess Terrain is still gone. And I have Extreme Speed Pressure. Alright. Not what I expected, but it works out. So I think this is probably Hyper Voice. I want Extreme Speed to NDD. The question is, what am I doing with Klefki? Probably a swap out here. This is Hyper Voice coming out. I think I go out on Sunflora and just click Extreme Speed into the NDD. Do I have enough turns to sweep? I guess that's going to be the question. It's going to be super close. At least the Delphox can't protect because it stole my Assault Vest from the Dragonite. If they sack the Delphox, that'd help. But they're probably sacking the NDD. Extreme Speed going to KO the NDD. No Helping Hand, so that's beneficial. Goodbye NDD. We get rid of their Tera as well as Psychic Terrain. All right. Hyper Voice. We do tank it with Sunflora. We have that light screen available. Yep. All right. Typhoon or Torkoal in. Throat Spray is threatening. Throat Spray is really threatening. We gotta go Torkoal though. We gotta get this power. That Throat Spray might be really bad. Delphox comes in. It doesn't have the Psychic Seed, so it doesn't have Psychic Seed, Assault Vest. It's just Assault Vest. Bring out the Torkoal. Is this the last turn of Terrain? No, or Trick Room? No, we have a couple. I'm gonna Energy Ball to Delphox, and I'm just gonna Eruption. I hope that the double up KOs. All right, no protects. I am able to get the Eruption for some pretty big damage, plus the Energy Ball into the Delphox, so the Delphox should go down. Yep. And I think I lose the Primarina though. They just go for Hyper Voice, which I am able to absorb pretty well. All right, it depends heavily on the last. Because maybe Sunflora could win. A Whimsicott. Interesting. Do they have Protect on Whims? No shot that the Primarina doesn't have Protect. So I'm going to go for Overheat into the Whimsicott as well as Energy Ball into Whims, because some Whims don't run Protect. They didn't Protect. Wait, but I have Overheat and I KO'd a Whimsicott because Trick Room's over. I'm shocked I did it. Like, I thought what was going to happen, it was Sash Whims. Maybe his Covert Cloak doesn't have Protect. Covert Cloak sometimes doesn't run Protect. I get the Overheat off. I get the Eject Pack into Klefki, and I threaten at least a Trick Room Mind Game against the Primarina. If they don't KO my Sunflora this turn, because I thought Sunflora was just going to Protect. Or not Sunflora. Primarina's going to Protect. Because Energy Ball was right there, man. Did they not have Protect? Did they not have Protect? Regardless, I win, but that's not how I expected this game to go. What was going on in this game? I don't know. Infernape, Dragapult, King Gambit, Amoonguss, Primarina, and Kilowatch. What am I looking at here? Okay, I have no clue how am I supposed to approach this because Infernape is so weird in this case. And the Kilowattrel? Which one is having Focus Sash is the question. Lefty's good at getting Trick Room up everything except the Infernape. Oh, this is going to be so weird. I think I want to lead Klefki. Am I bringing Dragonite? Dragonite's decent here. I'm not 100%. I feel like I should have speed that pressures while not being like super weak to Dragon Darts combo. I think it's Typhlosion plus Klefki because I'm really scared of Infernape Dragapult lead actually. Infernape plus Kingambit's not that bad. Torkoal and Sunflora in the back. It's really weird not having Dragonite in this game, but it's a Tera Hog, and I don't know if I really want to have the Tera on Dragonite when I think I might need the Tera for either Klefki to set up the Trick Room. I might need the Tera for my Typhlosion to avoid the Sucker Punch KOing, or I might need it on the Sunflora for the Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, Infernape Dragapult, so this is actually probably pretty good lead-wise here. Okay. Shadow Ball doesn't knock out the... Maybe I should have led Torkoal. Maybe I should just led the Torkoal and just ripped the Eruption with Tera Fire immediately. It's not an awful lead, but I have no idea if there... I don't know if there's Fake Out involved. Do I want a Trick Room? The problem with Trick Room is... Actually, no, I can go for a Trick Room. I'm going to Trick Room and I'm going to Shadow Ball the Dragapult. Because if they go for Fake Out plus Dragon Darts, I can Shadow Ball the Dragapult for a 2-hit knockout, which isn't awful. If they go for a Overheat, I get Trick Room up and they probably... I don't know if they aim for the KO on Typhlosion. Probably not. Maybe I should have delayed the Trick Room and moved for Gleam instead. Wait. They didn't Tera. It's Life Orb Infernape. And I get a Shadow Ball off into the Dragapult. So Dragapult goes down. What? Alright. I'll gladly take it. No Tera is shocking me. Was it Tera Ghost and they couldn't Tera? Maybe. Or maybe they thought I wasn't Scarf. They probably thought maybe I was Specs. Okay, that worked out really well. We are going to see Kilowattrel come in. That's Kilowattrel. That's probably the Focus Sash Mon. I'm pretty sure I just Light Screen and I Shadow Ball. Because does Infernape do damage to Typhlosion? Probably not. Once I get a Light Screen up, I'm pretty chilling with Typhlosion on the offense, unironically. I might as well just Shadow Ball here, because if they Thunderbolt with the Klefki, that's fine. And if they target down the Typhlosion, that's okay as well. Shadow Ball will two-shot the Kilowattrel. That I really didn't want. Oh, it's not competitive. Okay. You go for Thunderbolt? Heat Wave, sure. Yeah, as you can see, we're tanky. They're just letting my... I don't know why you're letting my Typhlosion just do whatever it wants to, but sure. Also, it's Wind Power on this team? Why Wind Power on this team? I don't know. I don't question it. I'm just gonna Shadow Ball the Kilowattrel and Reflect. No Protects. I don't understand this game right now. I get the Shadow Ball off into the Kilowattrel. Sure, I don't have Trick Room set up, but I have screens and the Typhlosion in a really good spot. They go for the Heat Wave. It gets the KO on the Klefki. But if they have Typhlosion in the back, or Kingambit in the back, I'm looking pretty chill right now. So we're going to go out into Torkoal. Primarina, okay. Shadow Ball KOs Infernape at this range, right? Surely? They haven't used Tera though, so I guess that's a thing I have to consider. If I guess there's no reason not to just Shadow Ball the Infernape and protect the Torkoal if I think the Infernape doesn't have Protector or is not going for it, or if it's just Heat Wave and it survives the Shadow Ball barely. Because I don't think Helping Hands to play. I think I need Torkoal to take an attack here. Yeah, actually Infernape does survive barely. So nice. Heat Wave coming out. All right. As Typhlosion eats. Oh, wait. The Infernape lived barely. Hyper Voice. Oh, I need a Helping Hand. I did need a Helping Hand. Unless Sunflora survives here, but I am not liking this endgame position. I'm telling you, I don't like this endgame position. Well, we'll find out. I'm going to overheat the Primarina and I'm going to Energy Ball. This covers a Tera, by the way, which is why I'm going for it. Oh my goodness, what has this game been? I guess that's the problem of running Timid Typhlosion. I was worried about it too, but I still thought Shadow Ball would have put you into the 1 Life Orb hit range from there. Because like the Inferno's taking what, like 3 of them? Should have Helping Hand Shadow Balled, I suppose. Because then I could have went for like a Helping Hand attack. Encore, what? Wait, you lose now. Wait, you literally lose now. What? Can someone tell me why they made that play? Because they go down their own Life Orb recoil now. Oh, they expected Sunflora to protect. They expected Sunflora to protect. And for Torkoal to KO the Sunflora. Okay, no, that actually makes sense now. I was like, what the heck was going on there? Like, why did they do that? And then it's like, oh, they don't know my set. They don't know that Sunflora can protect here. Let's see the heat wave damage. I want to see. It probably just nukes me or puts me super low. Yeah. So luckily they out mind game themselves, which is fair. They didn't know my Sunflora set. They didn't know my Sunflora set. And it's not like I attempted to get Trick Room up. They saw that I was Scar Typhlosion, so they're like, this might be Chlorophyll on Sunflora and now it's speed. So I either gotta hope for a Protect misplay or I gotta hope for the... I mean, yeah. What unique spin-off here. Male NDD, Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Talonflame, Flamigo, Kilowattrel, Alolan, Ninetales. What is this weird offensive take here? Okay. I'm gonna bring Klefki and I'm gonna bring Dragonite for sure. Because Dragonite's good against with Ice Spinner. Terra Flying is actually pretty good. I want to bring Torkoal because I do need weather control. Am I bringing Sunflora? Am I going to go Typhlosion? If I get Trick Room up, I dominate with Sunflora. If I don't feel like Trick Room's up, I would need to make sure that Tailwind isn't available. Beating Wide Guard stuff is pretty rough though. Because it could be Wide Guard Flamigo and I only have Overheat as my fire type attack. I think I'll bring Sunflora. I think I'm going to go for the Trick Room win con. It's just such a weird team because they have a lot of frail, fast things in the back. Like they have 3 birds. 3 birds, man. I do like the idea of getting the screens up immediately and going for the Ice Spinner. I mean, this is just a weird team because they have a lot that I have to figure out. Like, okay, what am I managing here? There's a Talonflame, which I think is brought here to deal damage and threaten the Typhlosion, but specifically the Tailwind threat. Talonflame, Flamigo, okay. As long as this isn't Overheat Talonflame, I think this is okay. I go for Reflect here. And I'm just gonna go for an Ice Spinner, I suppose. I'm gonna tar down the Flamigo because it's the Wide Guard threat. I don't know if I want a Tera yet. I don't think I want to pop the Tera because this could be a Will-O-Wisp coming out from the Talonflame into Dragonite, which is also a reason I just don't want to Tera any commit a Tera either on Klefki or Dragonite yet. Ice Spinner on the Flamigo is good to break a potential Focus Sash. It covers an Indie switch, but I don't think Indie should be switching in. But it makes them feared like switching in Indie, so that's actually positive. What are you gonna go for? The thing is, they can't really do much damage with the Reflect, at least to Dragonite. A Tailwind? Sure. Okay. I get a Reflect up. Close Combat and a Klefki. We tank it. Extremely nice. And here's a nice spinner. Are we KOing the Flamigo? Because if we KO the Flamigo, getting the free switch isn't super ideal. Okay. Well, then again, if it's Blood Moon, I can change my game plan, so it's not like awful. Because I can light screen. Is this Blood Moon coming in? I mean, it was just an interesting trade. If I triggered them there, they actually probably lost because I'm pretty sure I lived a close combat. Ninetales come in, sure. As long as they don't freeze dry, I'm pretty sure I have a nice solution here, which is Trick Room and switch to Torkoal. Yeah. Because if I get Trick Room up, I'm in such a dominant spot, right? So I just think I always go for it. I might be able to live Blizzard plus the attack from the from the Talonflame if it's a dual wing beat. All right, so we have the Drought active. We're gonna go for Terra Water. Let's see if we can get the Trick Room set up or not. They Terra here. What's their Terra? Talonflame? Ninetales. Tera Fire. Why is it Tera Fire? That defensive typing? Weird. It's okay though, although I don't know what I'm expecting. I am able to get the Terra Water with Klefki. Is this Wisp into Dragonite, Tera Fire, Terra Blast, and a Klefki? Flare Blitz into Dragonite. Covering, I guess maybe it breaks the Scale Wings while covering for Terra Steel. Blizzard does come out. I can't get frozen in Sun. And Trick Room goes up. Okay, we're in a fantastic spot now. We're in a fantastic spot right now. I'm just going to get damage across the board with Eruption and Dazzling Gleam. I guess this could still be a tricky end game, depending on like how well. Maybe I should have overheated. Maybe, but then again, Ninetales is in a weird spot, right? It can't do that much damage to Torkoal. The Talonflame's Gale Wings is broken, so I get the Eruption off first. Should I reflect it to make sure that Torkoal takes the attack better? Because Dazzling Gleam's not doing too much? Maybe. Eruption, pretty good damage. Dazzling Gleam, more chip. Okay. Encore into the Klefki, sure. And dual wing beat into Torkoal. Doesn't do that much damage. Maybe they thought I was going to go for the screen there. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's not offensive Ninetales. I'm going to actually go for the Overheat and the Talonflame and try to KO it. Talonflames don't run Protect really in... If it's Covercloak, they don't usually run Protect. So I'm going to try to KO the Talonflame with Overheat plus Dazzling Gleam. Maybe I can get in my Sunflora and then start driving from there. Yeah, I don't know. This position's been kind of weird to navigate. I can see Ninetales protecting, but nope. Why do I keep missing Overheat with this Mon, man? Blizzard gonna come out into the Ninetales or the Klefki and the Torkoal, do a Wing Beat. I do survive, but that's such a loss of momentum. Ellen Peters out. I mean, I'm trying to get KOs, man. Oh my goodness, that lost me so much momentum. I've been missing Overheats all day with the Torkoal. And we KO the Talonflame. At least on the bright side, we still have Screen available. I'm hoping that Sunflora can survive a combination. We land the overheat. We get the KO and a Talonflame. I go into Sunflora because I think if Trick Room expires without me getting initiative, I think Sunflora is the best call because I want the Dragonite still around for later. Because it's the best mon I have for like the Indeedee male. The fact that they're not protecting means I feel like they don't have protect, but we'll see. Dazzling Gleam. I see win. What? All right. I don't know what I'm expecting here. What's the final mon? Is it Indeedee? If it's Indeedee, it's weird. If it's Blood Moon, it's so doable. It is Indeedee. Okay. I don't know what I'm expecting here. So I could reset to get light screen up, and I might actually. I think my best play is just to go out into Torkoal and go for the Earth Power into the Ninetales. Yeah, I'm just going to Earth Power the Ninetales. Do they actually have Protect? I have no clue. We saw Encore, we saw Icy Wind, we saw Blizzard. I have no idea if the last move is Protect or not. Bring out the Torkoal. Indeedee protects. Like, yeah, if they had Protect, they were just going to go for it. Ninetales? That's Protect. You see, having the extra turn for them just ended up being so bad. I need to sack both here. I do need to sack both. All right, we're gonna go for a Earth Power and an Overheat. Icy Wind gonna come out. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, Expanding Force is cleaning up both Pokemon here. I get Light Screen up. I can Ice Spinner. I guess I'm gonna have to come down to does Extreme Speed KO the Ninetales at that range, because I think I have to. Expanding Force. Can I ever Ice Spinner the Ninetales instead? We'll find out. My only concern is if Ninetales protects here. Because Ninetales could protect. I think it might be an Extreme Speed range. You know what? I'm just going to Ice Spinner to Indeedee and Light Screen. They might protect so that they can get the multi-scale broken with Indeedee and then go for the ice move. That's what I was thinking. But they just go for Icy Wind. I mean, this is going to be super close. I also think I might actually have to bank on the Extreme Speed into the Ninetales and hopefully gain the KO. Lefty goes down. We have Light Screen and we have a Solvest, so we should be tanking this okay. But the question is how much? Yeah, we take it. Okay. Extremely well. We get the Ice Spinner off into the male Indeedee. It's an Extreme Speed range. Ninetales. The question is, are you in Extreme Speed range as well? Reflect wears off. It doesn't matter. You go for the Extreme Speed. We're going for the Ninetales. The Indeedee can't do enough damage. Was this a mistake? Was it to always Ice Spinner the Ninetales in Extreme Speed? Problem was, it was still a mind game, and I didn't know if they were going to protect there. Yeah. Because Expanding Force is not doing any damage to Dragonite. Yeah. If Extreme Speed KOs the Ninetales, because this is max attack Dragonite, then I just Extreme Speed KO the Indeedee and I win the game. That's basically how this went. Please. Okay. They attempted to double, which actually helps because if I don't get the KO, I still can play a mind game afterward. But I do KO the Ninetales. Oh, thank goodness, man. Thank goodness. Dragonite the hero, man. The Dragonite the hero. Saving the Klefki for the screens was also super valuable. Expanding Force. Okay. And now we win the game because we can Extreme Speed. We have 6 Extreme Speeds. They use their Tera on the Ninetales. Jeez, after that bad overheat miss. Because that was like probably the only overheat I had to click too. I think that was the only inaccurate move I had to click in this game. Because I wanted to reposition, get in my Sunflora. I threatened Earth Power Pressure into the Ninetales. Because, like, the thing is, they had a turn where they could just go for a double protect to stall out the Trick Room because I wasted a turn because I missed. If it wasn't like that, I would have been in such a good spot. But luckily, Dragonite was able to clutch this out. I spin a Dragonite with Extreme Speed. Really good endgame cleaner. And luckily, I was right about the Extreme Speed cleaning up the Ninetales, because if I got that wrong and the Ninetales survived on like one, I would have been pretty upset. Pelipper or Caledon, Dragonite, Annihilate, Sinistra, and Garchomp. Alright. They don't have a Fairy Resist, which is really good. Dazzling Gleam can put in a lot of work. But I do have to respect the Annihilate, which is a big factor. Do I want to go with Dragonite lead? No, I probably want to lead Garchomp. I think I'm going to lead Klefki, Garchomp lead, and have Sunflora and Torkoal in the back. It can be risky, though. Like, this could absolutely be risky, but I think it's a okay risk I'm willing to take. Ideally, I set up for a Dazzling Gleam with Sweep here with Sunflora. That's my goal. I'll need a little bit to work with. I need damage into Annihilate to make sure it's not Final Gambit sweeping me. Garchomp Dragonite on their side. Okay. I do not want to forfeit. I guess a Garchomp Tera here, but also Dragonite could Tera. It's a weird position. I think I'm just gonna reflect, and I think I'm gonna raid the Tera. Okay, they did not Tera. This is not what I expected. Okay, wait, this could be bad. We do get a Stomping Tantrum off first, at least, into the Garchomp. That's some pretty big damage. Okay. Is this Earthquake? Yeah, it's Earthquake. We tank. Scale Shot. Okay, that's not too surprising. Klefki took the Earthquake pretty well. I'm kind of curious if I can set up a board now. I think it's going to come down to does Klefki live the next Earthquake? Yeah, I think it comes down to does Klefki live the next Earthquake? Because I'm going to go out of Sunflora. I'm going to click the Tera Fairy Dazzling Gleam, and I'm going to go for the Trick Room. Or should I just Dazzle twice? Because, like, you might go for a Scale Shot into Sunflora, and you might go for Earthquake here. That might be worth it, question mark? Because if I get rid of the Dragonite, that means no weather can affect here. They wouldn't have a Tera. I think I still go for Trick Room Dazzle here. Let's see how this is gonna happen. I really want the Tera Fairy Dazzling Gleam to knock out the Garchomp, hopefully do a lot to the Dragonite. And we'll see how the rest of the game goes. We have Reflect up, so at least Sunflora will be able to absorb the attacks. They did go for a Scale Shot on Sunflora. Perfect. This is Earthquake again. Poison Jab. I mean, that works. Get Dazzling Gleam off. Okay, wait, this is actually pretty nice. I KO'd a Garchomp. I have health on the Klefki, which is not what I expected, but that actually works huge in my favor. Because I get Trick Room up. Okay. Arcaladon in. That's not too surprising. I think I'm going to Dazzling Gleam for Chip, and I'm going to go Torkoal. Because I don't need Light Screen if I'm expecting Flash Cannon from Arcaladon into my Torkoal slot. Dragonite protects. That's pretty ideal. I'm able to get a good amount of damage to the Arcaladon with the Dazzle. And then I guess it's the question of how the end game is going to get approached. That actually did a lot of damage because it's not stamina. Okay. That's pretty big. Does Dazzling Gleam overheat KO? No way. I mean, here's my play. I think I go Sunflora for the Klefki slot, and I go for the overheat into the Archaludon. Yeah, I think that's the play. Because I think this is Pelipper coming in for the Dragonite, and I think that this is going to be a Flash Cannon into the Torkoal. Or an attack, but no, Archaludon switches out, which is actually really good for me. Wait, this is really good. Pelipper coming in is massive. That's massive. Because I overheat the Pelipper. Well, I guess it depends on the Dragonite set now. Because I get my eject pack with the Torkoal. I hope this is Scale Shot into Torkoal. And I'm able to bring in my Klefki, and then I can go out in a Torkoal and click Dazzling Gleam with that Choice Specs. Okay, it is Scale Shot. Perfect. And we're going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. We have Choice Specs. The question is, are you Wide Guard? I could make a read if I really want to. I could Energy Ball. They don't know if I'm confirmed locking in the Gleam. I feel like this team would have Tailwind on Pelipper over Wide Guard. Actually, he turns a Trick Room. No, I'm gonna risk Dazzle. I'm gonna Dazzle, and I'm gonna Dazzle twice because Light Screen doesn't help here. Pelipper retreats. Okay, that's big because that's our Archaludon coming in, and I just did a bunch of damage with Dazzling Gleam. I might KO both. Oh, we see a Tera come out from the Dragonite. Okay. Tera Fairy, so it's not Tera Steel. That makes sense, but I don't think Extreme Speed is KOing the Sunflora, and I'm pretty sure I have enough firepower here. They go for Extreme Speed into Sunflora. Yep, I do hang on. Here's a Dazzling Gleam. Doesn't KO, but Klefki is going to get the final KOs with the Dazzling Gleam. Perfect. All right, I think it's not a guaranteed win, but I do think I have a really good chance of winning this game. It's goodbye Archaludon. It's the last turn of Trick Room. In the next turn, Klefki hanging high right here. Pelipper going to come in. I get to go for a Dazzling Gleam into the Pelipper, and I go for a Light Screen here. Yeah, I go for a Light Screen, and I go for the Dazzling Gleam. That was going to be forfeit. Oh, man, that could have gone ugly. That could have gone ugly. But the Klefki being able to tank the 2 Earthquakes with Reflect was absolutely huge because I was actually able to get a position with Sunflora, get a big amount of Dazzling Gleam damage, like KOing the Garchomp, so much damage to the Dragonite and Archaludon, and then, oh man, I had to find a way to position against our rain, but luckily I got the perfect amount of Dazzling Gleam damage, and the fact that they switched in Pelipper at the timing ended up really working out. That eject pack, super huge. All right, we have Sneasler Murkrow with Male Indeedee, the Annihilate Golden Go Mousehold. This can be scary if I play it wrong. Because they have Terrain. Final Gambit on Ape. Murkrow could have Sunny Day. Yeah, this is going to be a really scary one. I think I'm going to go Klefki Dragonites as a starter. In the back, I probably want Torkoal and Sunflora. This is going to be tough because there's Rain Dance Murkrow potential. If I do get Trick Room up, I think I'm in a good spot with Gleam. I have no idea what the sets are, though. The Annihilate could be Final Gambit. It could be a Bulk Up. This could be Beat Up Mousehold with Rage Fist. This could be like Specs Golden Go with Super Fang. Combination of Mousehold. There's so much I could see that this team has, and playing the mind games is going to be super annoying to deal with. Tera wise, I do not know if I'm going to go Tera Tera on the Klefki or the Sunflora or the Dragonite. It's going to be one of the two. I can't really bring Typhlosion lead because if it is Murkrow Rain Dance, it just basically neuters what Typhlosion can do and I lose so much momentum. Garchomp was like the other mon I was debating about, which is a mon that is pretty strong against their team. The only problem I don't like about Garchomp is I don't know how to... Maybe I should have. Sneasler Indeedee might have been awkward, but it's definitely playable. Dragonite kind of makes them more inclined to go for Final Gambit if they have it into Dragonite, which is why I kind of want to go Dragonite, but at the same time, it might not have been the play. But Sneasler Indeedee, this lead works out for me really well. Okay, as I lead Klefki and Dragonite. I'm going for Ice Spinner and I'm going for Light Screen turn 1. Psychic Seed, that's absolutely fine. All right, let's get that Light Screen up. And let's go for a... Yeah, we Light Screen here. And Ice Spinner the Indeedee. Let's see who the Sneasler targets turn 1. Probably Dragonite, I assume, but we'll see. No, they close combat to Klefki immediately. That's acceptable because I should be able to tank the Indeedee attack and get the Ice Spinner off and the Light Screen. Yeah, we tank the attacks. Beautiful. We're able to get the Ice Spinner off. Maybe I should have Ice Spinnered the Sneasler to put in extreme speed range. That's all right. I might not be able to get the Sun mode up, but it might actually be all right. I think I'm going to get a Reflect up and I'm going to go for a extreme speed into the Indeedee. Or maybe I should just target down the Sneasler because it did close combat. I want extreme speed to Indeedee. Because they might die. I could see like this being Dire Claw and a Imprison if they have it. Or they switch out. Alright, not as ideal. What's coming in? Murkrow? I mean, I'll take that. I get damage into Murkrow. And a Reflect is pretty good. Oh, especially if they protect. That's actually pretty ideal. If I got Trick Room up, that would have been really ideal, but that's all right. Extreme speed into Murkrow. Not bad. Reflect's coming out. Are they going to leave the Murkrow or relate the Klefki alone? That's a good question. I think I'm going to Trick Room and I'm going to Ice Spinner to Sneasler. Because it covers for an Indeedee swap if they switch out Indeedee into one of the Murkrow or the Sneasler. But it also like does quite a bit. Like the thing is, if they close combat with the Sneasler, I think they lose the Sneasler because they're going to be -2 defense. And I think it just goes down to Ice Spinner, which is a positive. I see a Tera. What's Terraing here? Sneasler into what? Tera Dark? What are you going for? Throat Chop? I guess you're worried about stopping Tantrum, but if you close combat, you're going down to the... Okay. Oh, they Dire Claw to Dragonite. Sure. Alright, that's not great, but it's fine. What did the Murkrow go for? Foul play? Okay. Get the Trick Room up. I wish I didn't fall asleep because I think it would have been an instant win because I would just spam Dazzling Gleam. But granted, this is not the worst. I just Ice Spinner and a Dazzling Gleam. I want them to get a KO here, hopefully, and I able to get the Sunflora in, and then Dazzling Gleam kind of sweeps the board, right? They used their Tera already on their Sneasler, and Indeedee's really weakened. Murkrow's taking chip. It's looking really good for Dazzling Gleam on my Sunflora, as long as I get it in freely. Okay, here's the Gleam. I should have extreme speeded, whatever. Even if I don't get the rain up, I still think I'm in a really good spot regardless. Okay. Because like Murkrow, it can rain dance, it can quash, but at the same time, it really does not matter. It really does not matter in the end. I'm going out into my Torkoal and I'm going into my Sunflora. I think I always click Dazzle because I want the pressure into Annihilate if it's the final Pokemon remaining. Yeah, they have to Rain Dance here if they have it. I just go for Eruption and Dazzling Gleam. If it's gold, Torkoal just wins. So yeah, we just go for Dazzle. And I'm pretty sure I just sweep this end game. Let's see. Because I have too many turns of Trick Room, I'm pretty sure. They'd have to get extremely lucky. I'll save my Tera just in case, because if it is Golden Go and they Rain Dance here, I do want the Tera Fire on the Torkoal so I can ensure the knockout. Yeah, they're in a tough spot. Like, they don't really have any switch or counterplay. They go for the Quash, but this is Sunflora, baby. Sunflora gonna get a Dazzling Gleam with the Choice Specs. Don't need the Tera Fairy. Goodbye, Sneasler. Goodbye, Murkrow. And now it's Entity and whatever the final Pokemon is. And it's no Rain Dance, so Eruption's just looking really good with Dazzling Gleam. Like, they don't have a switch. The Terra's gone, so they don't have a defensive Tera. Looking like a game over at this point. Looking like a game over. But yeah, they just really had no hope, I think. Interesting to see Quash, though, on a Psychic Terrain team. Entity. And what's the last? Annihilate. Okay, perfect. All right. Now, I know I talk about win cons. What's my opponent's win? Oh, wait, it's only 2 turns of Trick Room. It's actually kind of annoying. It's actually kind of annoying because it... You know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to attack. I'm not going to Tera yet because no matter what, I should be able to KO both of them with the Dazzling Gleam plus Eruption. I don't think there's any Ape set that can live Dazzling Gleam plus Eruption. Oh, no Protect. Okay, so I just win. I was saving my Tera in case, like, okay, the Annihilate and Male Entity, both, if the Annihilate got a double Protect, I think the only move that they can go for that can KO Sunflora is like Close Combat. And then I would Tera Fairy in that situation. But yeah, basically I just needed them both to not go for double Protect and get it, and I just win the game. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Good Trick Room sweep. Good Trick Room sweep. All right, we have Magmar, King Gambits, the Sneasler, Rillaboom, Primarina, and Dragapult. Okay. Matchup wise, I think that this is pretty all right. I think I want to go with Klefki plus Garchomp. I think Klefki Garchomp's actually pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna lead Klefki Garchomp. Actually, yeah. Because the only lead that screws up that and I get denied Trick Room is no, I think that's actually the right lead. I'm gonna lead Klefki Garchomp, have Sunflora Torkoal in the back. I don't think I really like the Typhlosion. It's not really necessary. The Dragonite is something I could have brought here. Dragonite is definitely a piece I could have had. And I am debating if whether Dragonite was better than Garchomp. I think the reason I want to bring Garchomp is threatening the Magmar, which is a pretty big deal to me. Yeah, I think threatening the Magmar looks pretty good to me. No, I'm not sure. The thing is, I'm a little bit scared about Rillaboom's Tera. Tera Fire would not be great to deal with. Granted, I do have Earth Power on Sunflora, but of course, losing Garchomp early does allow the Rillaboom to potentially come in and go for the Tera Fire, which is bad. But we'll see. I really hope that we can get the Trick Room up, which I think against this build, like, Trick Room is like pretty easy to get up. Because they don't have the best tools of KOing Klefki other than Magmar, which is again why I brought Garchomp, but we'll see. Dragapult Sneasler, alright. Versus Garchomp and Klefki. I'm just gonna attempt to get Trick Room up and protect the Garchomp. I don't see a downside to this, actually. Because if you fake out, like, what's Dragapult doing to Klefki? Unless you're special, like a special attacker, I'm fine with this. And if you don't fake out, like, you can't knock out Klefki, I get the Trick Room set up. I get Garchomp under Trick Room, and then looking pretty bad for you. I wonder if it's Prim. I wonder if it's Prim and back. I could see them doubling the Garchomp with Dragon Darts plus close combat. Sneasler retreats. Marina? Rila. Okay. That's fine. All right, protect the Garchomp. Is this U-turn or is this Dragon Darts? Phantom Force. I am okay with this. As we get the Trick Room set up, I kind of like the idea of getting as much damage as I can into the Rila immediately. So I'm actually going to reflect here, and I'm going to go for a Dragon Claw into the Rila. Because if they fake out the Klefki, so what? If they Wood Hammer, they take a bunch of recoil plus the Rough Skin, and then the Life of Dragon Claw is going to hurt the Rila, and that means I don't have to deal with a Tera Fire defensive option, which I think is really good for me. Because I think Rila is actually one of the biggest threats here to stopping my plans. If they fake out, I'm going to take a Banded Phantom Force with one of the slots, but at least I get pretty good damage to Rila with Dragon Claw immediately. Unless you double Rila out in a Primarina, but I think you're just going to try to fake out or Wood Hammer immediately, which works for me too. Reflect. High horsepower. Okay. Klefki able to hang on pretty safely. Dragon Claw going to come out into the Rila. Less damage than I would have liked, but still. Phantom Force into Garchomp. Okay. They crit me. Is that better or was that worse? That's not ideal. I think I go Sunflora. Yeah, Sunflora's fine. And I'm gonna get Torkoal in for Klefki and click Dazzling Gleam. I'm not gonna Tera yet because I don't need my Tera. Unless I want to blow up the Rila and expect no Tera Fairy. Or Tera Fire. I don't expect Tera Fire this turn, so maybe I could have went for the attack, but then they get fake out position. I'm worried about how much damage I'm taking from like Wood Hammer and a bunch of other attacks. They don't have a switch in for Dazzling Gleam, so I think Dazzling Gleam is just the smartest attack here. Without Tera, I don't think it's necessary. As long as this isn't like Tera Ghost on the Dragapult. But we'll see. They might switch out too, and if they switch out, like Torkoal and Sunflora threatening very heavy offensive pressure under the Trick Room. So let's find out. We also have that Reflect, which is also massive against my opponent. We'll bring out the Torkoal. Now we have Solar Power on deck, so Dazzling Gleam is threatening heavy amounts of damage to their side. And no Tera. Okay, Dazzling Gleam KOs the Dragapult. Really good damage to Rila. You might be taking a high horsepower, but Torkoal should eat this up easily. Yep. Yeah, like we absolutely tanked that. Okay, beautiful. I wish we had light screen up. That's the only thing that's the downside here, but right now we're in a really good offensive position. If this is Sneasler, it just goes down to the double up, so they kind of respect it. They don't know my item on Sunflora, which is huge, so they might not be sure about bringing Prim. They don't have a switch for the Rila slot, though, which is absolutely huge. I think I can't ever Tera my Sunflora, though. As much as I would love to offensively. Oh, they go Sneasler, which is interesting. Okay, no, that works out really well. Because I always break this Focus Sash here, and that's massive. Or it could be Grassy Seed. Sure. I go for Eruption, and I go for Dazzling Gleam anyway. Because only Sneasler has access to Fake Out. Unless the Sneasler has some crazy Tera. I'm pretty sure Dazzling Gleam and Eruption will easily KO. If they go for Fake Out, like I get the KO on Rila if they don't Tera, and then the Sneasler gets 2-shot. Really gonna retreat. Is this Prim? Primarina. They're faking out Sunflora, I guess. Maybe they fake out. Oh no, they protect. Okay, they're taking massive amounts of damage here. Okay, here comes an eruption. Not as much damage as I would have liked to Primarina, but still pretty decent. We do get a Dazzling Gleam off. That's good damage. That's good damage. And it is not... Okay. That's nice. Primarina has to protect here. I'm going to overheat the Sneasler. And I'm just going to Dazzling Gleam. Because getting in my Klefki to threaten another Trick Room is really massive here. So that's what I'm going to do. It should protect Prim. And sack the Rila, exactly. Nice. Nice. Perfect. Please hit the overheat so I can get the eject pack out. Nice. Okay. Feeling pretty good about this. So we KO'd a Rila. They still have an option to Tera, but it's all right. As our eject pack's going to activate, so we do get the free switch. We go out into Klefki. Dazzling Gleam is going to fail into the Primrose Protect, but so be it. Oh, I guess the end game is going to be a bit weird. Trigger returns to normal. There's grassy terrain disappears from the field. So no recovery for them, no recovery for me. Hyper Voice Close Combat shouldn't KO with Reflect up. The problem is I only have one more turn of Sun if I'm not mistaken. This is going to come in. It's probably a Dire Claw Hyper Voice. It's going to be really weird to reposition the Klefki, I think. I think I had to get the Sneasler turn right. Yeah, I'm going to have to get the Sneasler turn right. Surprisingly, they are really thinking about this. I guess they're debating about, do you go for Close Combat Hyper Voice or do you go for Dire Claw? Sneasler comes in. Oh, there's 2 turns of Sun left. I might be okay. Attempt a Trick Room, I think, and go into Torkoal is my best option. This endgame is going to be super close. I do have to get like a few turns right. If this is Dire Claw Hyper Voice, I need Torkoal. If Torkoal goes down, actually, it's probably better for me. Yeah, it'd probably be better for me. No, it would be better for me, actually. Because then I'd get a free switch back to Sunflora, and then I'd threaten Choice Specs Dazzling Gleam with Tera Fairy. And then, yeah, I think that'd be better. If they go for the Klefki, the Torkoal hangs around, which is actually pretty nice. Alright, let's see. Bring out the Torkoal. Tera committed. Okay. Marina? Marina. Air Poison, not too surprising. Okay, I think they're doubling up the Klefki. I think Klefki hangs on, though, because we're in the Sun. Close Combat. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we live Hyper Voice in Sun. Yep. Yeah, barely. Perfect. Oh, it's Life or Prim. Jeez. Okay. I think that seals the win here, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to light screen, and I'm going to protect my Torkoal. Yeah, I'm going to protect the Torkoal. I don't know where the protect is going from the Primarina or the Sneasler, because they kind of have to get the player right? Overheat is threatening a KO on both of these Pokemon. The Sneasler had a -1 special defense drop. The Primarina probably in range of Overheat and Sun. I don't know if you're going to double protect to stall out the Sun. That might be an option, actually. Maybe I should have hard swapped the... I think I should have hard swapped the Klefki. Okay. Alright, I get the light screen up. Dire Claw into Torkoal. Alright. I think we're okay. 3 turns of Trick Room. I think I'm good still. Terrifier, Overheat the Prim. They might think the Prim lives the Overheat, but with Terrifier, I can now KO it. And then Dazzling Gleam chip the Sneasler. Now, the Sneasler can get a bit ugly in the end game. It can get ugly in the end game. But let's see. I'm not going to Tera Fairy to Sunflora anymore. I just need Earth Power damage, I think. So we Terrify with our Torkoal. Hopefully for some really heavy damage into Primarina and pick up that knockout. Okay, we hit. That's good. I think we KO. Max special attack. Torkoal. Yeah, we KO the Prim. Beautiful. Okay, I think this should seal it here. Alright. Primarina goes down. We get a single target Dazzling Gleam off into Sneasler. Shouldn't do that much damage, but damage is damage, I suppose. Oh, we do 2-shot to Sneasler. Perfect. Dire Claw comes down to Torkoal, and now I should have the game sealed because Sunflora plus Earth Power KOs. Now, the question is, A, do you go for the double protect, which you always should? B, is the Dazzling Gleam a roll? Is it a roll? We'll find out. Go for a Dazzling Gleam. Go for the Earth Power. I'm going to be forfeited. I'm surprised. I really do think you go for the double protect win con and then Dire Claw. Because you do have outs. But I think you just hope for the Dazzling Gleam being a roll, and then you get the mind game right. If you think that Sunflora has protect, you just go for like a read on the Klefki. Like, I think it's winnable, but we'll take it. We'll take it. A lot harder than I expected, actually. Like, Prim is still a very complicated Pokemon if I don't position it right, and yeah, but Dazzling Gleam was just so good against their team. Like, that damage it was threatening was incredible, and we were able to get a pretty good start into a solid ending. It was still a bit shaky, but I do think I played the best odds there. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1, Rain Dance Murkrow is pretty hard, but luckily Sunflora was able to do massive damage in Trick Room, and with no Pelipper, Torkoal was able to clean up the end game. In game 2, Psychic Seed Delphox is a bit tough, especially with stealing my Assault Vest on the Dragonite, but was able to get Trick Room up. Was not expecting that final turn to go the way that it did, but I ended up winning. In game 3, I do think I should have went for the Helping Hand Shadow Ball to knock out the Infernape in the end, but they thought my Sunflora was going to protect, so they ignored it, allowing it to knock out the Primarina, and the game was sealed. In game 4, Terrifier Ninetales was actually weird for me since it was hard to knock it out, but luckily, the Assault Vest Dragonite with Ice Spinner was able to clean up the remaining Entity and Ninetales. Though it might have been easier if I didn't miss the overheat into the Talonflame earlier. In game 5, I guess I read too hard into the Tera, but was able to get up Trick Room with some really good positioning from the Eject Pack Torkoal to allow Sunflora to do so much damage with Dazzling Gleam under the Trick Room. In game 6, the Dire Claw sleep made it a bit rougher, but was able to sweep with Torkoal and Sunflora under the Trick Room after they burnt their Terastallization early. In game 7, was a little bit harder to maneuver than I thought it would be in this matchup, but the Torkoal Sunflora duo was really strong under screens and able to break through my opponent's team. So how was Sunflora? Well, it's no Flutter Mane when it comes to speed and how ridiculous that Pokemon is, but the damage was actually pretty comparable. That Dazzling Gleam does so much with the Tera Fairy. Unfortunately, we don't get the double empower like the Flutter Mane does from Terastallization. However, still really powerful output, and with the lack of really strong fairy coverage out there, like it was able to do quite a bit, especially with Dazzling Gleam Eruption under Trick Room. Can be very hard for opponents to switch into effectively. So really solid option there. If you would like to check out the details of the team, you can check them out down below in the description. If you would like to try out the team, you have a very short window to grab it, so make sure you grab it while you can with the rental code on your screen. But otherwise, of course, check out the original creator down below in the description, as well as their rental code if not. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.